you so much, Harry. Now we're all starting to feel like impatient for all the talking to be over so we can get our hands on this book that we're all talking about. But of course we must hear from the artist and writer themselves. It is a great pleasure to introduce Kain White, also a friend for many years. If you haven't encountered his art before, do follow it up after today. They will reward you. Kain White holds a Bachelor of Fine Art from LaTrobe University, with his main study areas in drawing and printmaking. He has exhibited in Melbourne and Sydney, as well as various regional galleries, including here. Aside from a focus in painting and printmaking, White also works in animation, illustration, and education. White finds inspiration in a variety of sources, from the Renaissance masters through to 1950s space illustration. He acknowledges the fundamental influence of traditional sacred works and their symbology. White is preoccupied with how the unique imageries of iconography and alchemy in particular draw the viewer beyond the naturalistic and therefore the material sphere and into contemplation of non-physical realities and worlds of meaning. Through his own use of symbolism, narrative, grotesquerie and unconventional perspective, White seeks similarly to displace his viewers from materialist paradigms and encourage them to reflect on the metaphysical, particularly in light of attitudes that are unique to the postmodern age. He explores states of disconnection, alienation, the loss of role and meaning, and our changing relationship as humans with each other and with the rest of the natural world. His prints balance so beautifully the writing and the aesthetic of this book. Anyone who knows them knows how beautiful their dynamic is as partners, and that just echoes through their creative work together. And I'm very, very pleased to welcome Kain White here to talk to you.
Thanks everybody. I've gone one up on Harry. I'm actually completely empty-handed, so I usually type up the speech and I don't read it, so I'm just going to speak from the heart. It's been 7 years. Just reflecting on that, it's amazing it's been so long. It doesn't seem like a long time. Obviously my role was to create some artworks for it. I didn't know what I was getting myself into at the time when Beck asked me, hey, let's go and check out this museum in Melbourne and learn about letterpress. I didn't know what that was either. So we went, had a look, and then I started to realise the amount of work that used to go into printmaking, just simple text. And from then on, it's just been a gradual uncovering of this kind of lost knowledge. There's nothing I can say that can really illustrate just what has gone into this project. There's no manual out there that can tell you how to do this. So I don't want to spend the whole time kind of paying this reverence to Beck's work ethic, but I felt a sense of responsibility once we really got into it, and I realised this is going to be significant. I'm a bit of an art history fanatic, I guess you'd call it, and I started to think of stories of how famous artists became remembered, and like I try not to think of myself in the future where my artworks will be or anything like that. Some artists do, but there's always advocates for those people who actually barrack for that person and support them because they believe in them. And it's ironic that after the success is made, then you start to support them. Like when they win an award, or when they make money, or something like this. But I could see this is significant. I don't think there's many people around who actually know how to put all these pieces together, let alone write beautiful stories. So when Beck was trying to get work published in journals and different publications in the traditional sense, the modern day sense, there was always the same sort of response, which was, your work's beautiful, it's beautifully written, we love it, but it doesn't quite fit. And I thought that's so similar to my experience as an artist. I've always just done things the way I want to do them and encouraged my students that I've had over the years to do the same. So we kind of fit together in that way. And once we made that decision, all right, we're going to go the real traditional way, it's just been an adventure ever since. So I feel deeply privileged to be part of this journey. It's actually overwhelming just to see the amount of work that I've actually put in, let alone what Beck's put in. Like, I don't remember doing it. I'm just so busy carrying printing presses. If anyone needs a printing press calibrated, I'm pretty good at that now. But I think the biggest thing was I was encouraging Beck to share her story, the parallel story. So there's her stories that she's written, and then there's the story of going about doing this. So that's something I felt very passionate about, and have just been kind of at her, because Beck is a quieter person and a hard worker, but an introvert, but has a very powerful personality. So I just wanted to encourage her to share the story, so to get the blog going, to get the website up, and then the followers came, everybody got behind Beck, and yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, but I just really appreciate everybody coming in. I knew it was going to be successful, of course it was going to be successful, but it was just, trying to clear out any obstructions that would lead us to this moment. So, just so glad to see you all here, and thanks a lot for coming. I hope you enjoy just having a look around and catching up with Beck as well. So, thank you.